Hey, Jeffrey.
Hi, very nice.
Hello, hello. So let me share also the document in the chat. So don't forget to add yourself to the attendee list. So let's kick it off. Hey, Rakshit, I think
Hey everyone.
we are 4 minutes over time, so we can start. Great news. The next Keptn Governance Committee election will kick soon. The idea is by the 15th of this month, so in 4 days, we will start the election process, which means for a full month, so from the 15th of October until the 15th of November, you can elect yourself, you can elect other people to be part of the governance committee of Keptn. After 30 days of election period, there will be other 30 days of votes. That means every member of the Keptn community can cast a vote on one or multiple, I don't remember exactly the process, one or multiple people that are willing to take part in this election. And after 30 days of voting period, we will collect the results and establish the new Keptn Governance Committee for the following up year. So if you're interested into the role, look into that, spread the news, and be ready to vote. Any questions for this? Looks like a no. So let's go into the second part. Are there any other topics for the community time block? Then let's go over the documentation time block.
And I had some stuff in and something got zeroed out. We have pretty much completed the first pass, at least the documentation for the analysis feature. The user guide is merged, and we've got reference pages and instructions for migration that are almost ready to merge. So if anybody's interested, I can send details or whatever.
Then let's add a link towards them.
Okay, they got the two PRs.
Okay, here. Any PR in particular that you would like to talk, Meg, or ask for a review?
No, well, they're all no, just to make sure that people know they are out there. The reference pages,
Sorry.
and then the migration reference pages for analysis CIDs.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, I can't read the number. Small on my screen.
Where is the which one is the migration? Sorry.
Let's see. I had these links in here. I don't know what happened.
Maybe we merged the one about migrating.
Did something get merged in the last few hours? Is that a possibility?
Yeah.
Yes.
So perhaps that is merged.
Yes, it's merged.
All right. So if that's true, then can go to the development branch of the docs and um,
It's easier like this.
yeah. And under user guides, there is a chapter or page called analysis.
Ah, here it is.
Yeah,
Nice. Thank you very much for this nice the
that's
guide.
largely Anna did a beautiful job. And then at the very in the migration guide, the migrating to Keptn, the migrate quantity gates has been updated.
Perfect.
And again, Flo's beautiful prose. So
Perfect. Thank you all for working on this.
it needs some polish. Comments welcome, but progress.
So everyone, if you have time, please read those documentation. And if you find any something that is unclear or any typos, please let us know or provide directly a PR. And anything else for the documentation?
That's about it, unless anybody else has something to discuss.
Looks like no. So let's jump into the next ticket from Yash Pimple. Thank you for working on this. I will do the review right after this meeting. So I won't forget. And everyone else, I will share the link in the chat if you want also to provide a review. And thanks a lot for contributing to Keptn.
Yes.
So now we have the long list of tickets to refine. This one from you, Anna.
I think Mo flagged it as ready to refinement as a way to share. So the thing is, we had this nice conversation with a user that wanted to deploy the Keptn tutorial on a vCluster, and we figured out a solution to make it work. So it's probably worth writing down that this is supported and how to do it. It's fairly easy. The idea is that virtual cluster uses the original scheduler from the cluster you are running it on top from. And this is not good for us. Since we have a custom scheduler, we need to deploy a virtual scheduler as well. So this is this one configuration, and maybe it's worth having a little tutorial or a little change in the documentation to fix this.
So should this be flagged for documentation, right?
Mostly yes, because
Yeah.
somewhere in a few points we say that vCluster is not compatible. We should change that and probably also link to that page.
Excellent.
And maybe make sure that this is more clear in the getting started guides, since the poor guy wasted some time because we didn't put it in there.
Right, we should put it in the installation guide actually, although we could link from the
Mm-mm.
getting started because it would.
Yeah, but that's some
Yeah.
Yes, nice. Also, the readiness gates, we can go away from having a scheduler. And this will also help.
Not sure about that because the gate still uses a plugin. We should test it.
But that's
yeah,
part of
you
the
have a
default
fair point.
scheduler. You don't need to deploy your own special scheduler.
But if you check the documentation, if you click on the vCluster scheduler, many things that have to do with scheduling don't work. So also affinity, topology spreading, and this kind of things that works on the scheduler won't work if you use this cached scheduler. But this is for a later day.
Yeah, exactly. Worth to give it a shot.
Checking.
Yeah. Thank you for supporting this community member, Anna. then this is stemming from a peer review of today, I guess.
Yes, not much to say. We know that our workload controller is a big guy. Maybe we can try to shrink it a little bit.
Cognitive complexity is a bit strange in the sense of this is not, many nested
Yeah.
things, just one if after the other.
True.
I
But
don't know.
maybe it's pointing to something because we don't have super high coverage for this guy.
Yeah, maybe we can hide every if behind a function
Yeah, this is what we did in
for
others.
the phase. Yeah,
Yeah.
for each phase we have a function,
Mhm.
so each function is. But yes, I can see. And I guess this is a good first issues.
Yes.
Perfect. Oh, this one is interesting. Yes. This would
Ah,
be very good to have some special documentation for the metric server to tell people how they can create and manage secrets for the different providers, because each provider uses a different set of key value pairs for different configurations. So will be good to have one page for each.
okay, that was the question, whether we wanted just one page that says this is how you do it for all of them, or one for each.
Or
I'm
maybe
sort of
just one
leaning,
page with listed one after the other. Dynatrace, Datadog, Prometheus.
I actually favor the separate, under option 2. I do note there may be somewhere down the line, we might have issues that like some versions of Prometheus don't work with the latest version of Keptn or something. It would give us a separate page for each of the data providers, and there might be other things that come up for that. And it also means that um, if somebody's contributing a new data uh, provider, they just have a separate page to do rather than mucking in one common. Either one probably works, but that was the question: is which way do we do this?
No, it might very much be a providers section and then one page per provider. So
Yeah, those would be subsections. Yeah, separate files for each one, as opposed to like one file that has subsections for each one.
yeah, especially I'm thinking now the case where we will have maintainers of their own provider in the future,
Mm-hmm.
where they will only maintain the code that hooks into the platform, the observability platform of choice. So makes sense to have one page each. Yes.
Okay, cool.
Where should I write it?
Just say choose
Uh,
up. Yeah.
I forgot how to do the stack through.
Are we sure this goes to user guides?
No, not at the moment.
Where would you put it, Anna?
I have no clue, but doesn't sound right. Yeah, maybe together with the rest of the implementation part, implementing Keptn.
Well, implementing Keptn is now user guides.
Oh.
Hmm.
Okay.
That was a
Sorry.
previous discussion. We got rid of that. That was the
Sorry
title
then.
was confusing, so they're now just Flux, and Flux has it. Jenkins has user guides. It just looked like we were starting to look more like
Okay.
everybody else.
Then it's perfect place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. And we don't need to do that for the next release strictly. Perfect. Then this was an interesting one stemming from a conversation over Slack. The person suggested that we are polluting a bit if we are running a lot of Keptn tasks, either pre or post. We create a lot of jobs, and those jobs definition stays alive. And instead, we should provide time to leave. So after the job is finished, it stays alive for 1, 2, I don't know, 10 minutes maybe. So there is still possibility to debug the configuration of the job. And after that, it's automatically deleted. I think now as a discussion for this ticket, we should also find out what could be this magic number for this default time to leave seconds. What would that be for you people?
I think in the conversation they were mentioning a limit of 200 per day or something like that, which is not that many.
But that's not the limit that we can provide. We cannot control the amount of resources or the amount of CRTs, but
that suggests that it should be cleaned quite quickly. Probably.
5 minutes.
Long enough to register it somewhere else, yeah.
Ten minutes maybe. Let's start with. Anyway, it's configurable, so 10 minutes in, it's high enough to be able to pick it, process it by any other tools and do anything. Reasoning behind the scene with this info.
Just one quick question to avoid not reinventing the wheel, because I think there are solutions like Keptn, for example, for exactly this purpose. If we also consider evaluating those.
Keptn is a bit different. Keptn is a more general things. You annotate any resource in your cluster, and it will periodically look into and delete them. This is instead also out of the box value from the Kubernetes job spec. So we don't need to do any logic. We just set a field in the job CRD.
But that would still mean that the tasks would stay in there.
The CRD of the task, yes. We had the discussion with the user to use Keptn. It's not easy out of the box because you cannot use the annotation for the task definition for obvious reason. Because if you annotate the task definition, then that will be deleted. So it needs a little bit more fancy configuration, which we could provide as a out-of-the-box configuration or example at least.
But we want to clean only the jobs, right?
He was complaining for that, but I reckon this may apply to any CR. So Flo's right about that.
Yeah, the moment it's just jobs. Because our custom CRDs, no one cares about them. In the sense of it's not a standard Kubernetes resource. I don't want to, over-engineer. I would like to do the bare minimum at the moment because Kubernetes already provides that for the jobs. And if someone complains about, we have too many Keptn tasks, then we can find a way. Maybe we can just suggest to the Keptn task version to annotate them with janitor.
Janitor, yeah.
Yes. But at the moment, we don't allow to have special annotations, right?
For the task definition, if you have the annotation, this is inherited by the job.
Yeah.
But for the
But
others, I don't recall.
the issue is if it's inherited, then also the Keptn task
Mhm.
definition will be deleted.
Yeah, but the janitor has special rules also. So you can just match by label, for instance. So you can figure out.
Okay, yeah. So I would say we implement this part for the Kubernetes job. And if it's a problem for other users with the Keptn task definition instances or versions, then we can provide support via janitor.
And Giovanni, if you scroll down, the user with which we had
Here
the
it is.
conversation was also mentioning whether maybe it doesn't make also sense to have a full job configuration available for a task, which we didn't want originally, but discussion is there. Because he
It's not
mentioned
part of this ticket.
not as this ticket, as a general.
Mm, but what would be the
See, he was questioning whether we should have so much control instead of just leaving the user the ability to do whatever they like and not having to support any of this incremental feature, a bit like Flo said.
the issue is because we want to handle the status. We need to know and own that part. We need to know when a thing starts and finish, so we can then progress the phase of the deployment.
Yeah, so
If it's a job that we don't control, it will be owned by another component.
I think he meant we just enable the possibility to specify an entire job spec, but we create the job.
That would be fine, actually.
The only blocker I see is that this is not really compatible with the other runners we have. So this would be like a thing, an extra.
I was thinking anyway, just for the container runtime, you can provide a job definition, since the job spec contains the container part. Worth to have a look, but not as part of this ticket.
Okay, maybe write a research about this.
And I think Prakit can be assigned to this ticket, since he asked. Then so this was sorry. Wrong button. I disabled the camera, but keep the microphone unmuted. Sorry. This one, Yash, I think there was a misunderstanding between Adam and a
Yes, yes.
typo. You meant that you would
So
like to take it, right?
work on it. Adam considered that you would like to work on that. So basically, due to my exams, I was unable to work on the PR, but by the end of this week, I will be able to make a PR on this. So yeah,
Oh, perfect. Thank you. I think it was just a misunderstanding. And thanks a lot for your support. Is everything clear for this ticket?
yes, definitely.
Perfect.
And if any issue arises, I will do contact you.
Oh, perfect. Awesome. Last ticket from this list So here, currently the matrix server exposes the matrix, the Prometheus matrix, only through port 2222. Very nice number. And this is hard-coded. And we should instead make it more configurable through our chat. Because maybe people have some special firewall rules to only open specific ports. So what should be changed is to change the hard-coded part, read it from an environmental variable. Actually, let's edit. Um, um, and after we are finished with the refactoring of our Helm charts. So this is not yet ready to pick it up. All this ticket, do you have any question? Looks like a nope. Then let's have a yes, Mike.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you also looking at those that are ready for discussion, issues that aren't put for refinement?
Yes, it's here
Okay.
in the second tab.
Ah, there we go. Okay. You can do the others
Let's
first. The first
no,
one.
we can start from this one. I was curious
Okay.
because I didn't saw these two before in this list. So, Meg, what would you like to discuss about this?
Okay. We had originally said that we didn't want to be in the business of documenting other people's technologies. So for Grafana and Jiger, we at one point the install guide linked to their installation instructions. But I think I don't know, it may be a problem. I mean, that's a general principle that we want, but this is so we are hearing from customers that the one thing with Keptn, with Keptn V1, they had the bridge. And they come in here and they don't have any graphical interface to report stuff. And so then the getting started guide has instructions for how you get a basic Grafana, and Jagger configured that. So we've got that in there. And side note, apparently those instructions are not currently working. So Adam's filed an issue for somebody to go in and see what's wrong and fix that. He doesn't have time to do that. So then we're up against, because we shouldn't have basic instructions that are in the getting started guide and not in the main documentation. So there's that. And then somebody started, I forget who, but somebody started, we have a PR out there that's needs to be picked up. I think the contributor may have gone away, but that updates the README in the Grafana section of our source code to have instructions on how you configure your Grafana data or customize it. So I'm sort of like, well, okay, so it's in the README, that's documented. So what should be in the docs and what should not be in the docs? We have conflicting things here. And I have some opinions, but not strong ones. I think just it needs to be a community discussion as to what we want to do about this.
I was muted, damn it. Today my Zoom skills are below 0. Before saying anything, I would like to have the community feedback here. Rakshit, Yash, what's your opinion? What would you prefer to see in a website that documents a product?
Can you repeat?
What's your take on this? What would you prefer? what type of level of documentation would you like to have for Grafana?
I haven't actually tried Grafana myself yet. So I'll have to first try the current documentation if that's sufficient or not.
Maybe that's a great things to do. Maybe can I ask you, Rakshit, to go over the documentation and see if it's enough for you to understand that part or not?
For Grafana?
Yes.
Right
Yeah,
now,
sure,
what
I'll
we've
do
got
that.
is in the is only in the getting started guide. There we go. Yeah. And we
Sure,
also
I'll
got
do that.
PR. We have
It-
PR 1718 that talks about how you customize it then,
We
but it's in the
probably
README
have
file.
to fix the tutorial with the new Helm charts, but it should work with the old ones.
I went through this getting started guide when we did the last release, and everything was working fine. So I don't know exactly where Adam was having some failures.
He didn't have he had heard that there were fails. Somebody had said they had problems, I think. I don't think it was him.
Then it,
I helped somebody once that had problem visualization. This is a Grafana bug though, that on certain small screen, not all of the parts of the dashboard are visible. And this can
Ah,
be fixed with resizing. I don't know if there are others.
okay, then let's let's provide our feedback here in the ticket, like Moritz commented. I will also share in the chat so everyone can provide their own 2 cents, so we can have a collective agreement on what should we do. And I will keep the tech needs discussions, so next committee meeting, we can go over the comments and take a decision.
sounds good.
Perfect. Then I'm curious why this needs discussions. Fortunately, Moritz is not here. I don't know what he wants to
I
discuss.
think they were discussing not to do this.
I would say to only support KO instead of Docker, because I would like to have still Docker files because Docker is more of any other container runtime that can support Docker files is most likely already installed on your machine instead of KO. But KO should be the way to go to release our images. The chain guard images, the Wolfie Linux images are way more secure. But let's wait for Moritz to be here to discuss that ticket. And this one from you, Meg, create additional metric providers.
Yes. Oh, that didn't I think we discussed that last week. And Rakshit, do you know any more about this?
Yes, I saw one PR. Someone has made a PR to add Thanos as a provider.
Yes, it's still in draft though.
Yeah, it's still a draft PR.
Yeah. Remember him. We have been working during the KubeCon Contrib Fest.
And what about documenting how to do this too? At one point, I thought that was part of this.
The issue is it's very hard to create some docs to do that in the sense of documentation that should live in Keptn.sh. because this is very technical, and
Right.
I think we already have something here. Or is it comes providers? No, we don't have anything here.
I mean, there's documenting and there's documenting. It's something that would be nice to have a page in the contributing guide. The contributing guide might say, go read the sword and figure, it's technical, it's different. Look at the existing ones and figure it out.
Actually, it is quite simple though, because we do have the interface for the providers, and to add a new provider, you just need to implement that. Of course, difficulty is another aspect, but in terms of the process, it should be relatively straightforward.
Where we should document this? Inside this README?
Maybe under contributing.
Or inside the contribute?
This would go under contributing. And one thing to add now is when we get this section set up with a page for each data provider. Oh no, that's metrics. Oy. Oh, what we just discussed about data providers, do we need one for the different metrics providers too?
It's the same.
The same ones, that's right. So, okay.
So let's start from here, from contributing. And then we can pick up the things and move it around.
Okay, yeah, we're largely moving stuff out of there into the contributing guide and then make the contributing guide MD have just links to what's in the contributors guide.
Okay.
Then it won't be a complete cookbook. Then what Flo said, the basic thing is to say how you have to hook it into the, right? What Flo said. It was simple. Work on it.
I lost the last second. Sorry, I had some sound issues.
Oh, okay. I just said the piece that Flo said was simple, that you have to hook it in.
Yeah, I basically summarized, or tried to
Okay.
summarize with this sentence.
Okay.
And yeah, no, it's not a good first issue because you need to know a bit about this, but it's a very simple work. Okay. Any other topics that you would like to discuss? Then I don't want to steal more of your time. Have a nice rest of your day and see you at the next community meeting.
Yes. Thanks,
Bye,
everybody.
everyone.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.